Hey folks. Well, I'm back from my break, which wasn't really much of a break, seeing as I posted gameplay videos of Final Fantasy VII Remake and immediately got copyright struck for one of them, so I took it down right away, even though the darts one was okay, and apparently so was the dance. I hope you're all staying home and staying safe. I want to talk a little bit about staying home and staying safe. It's just astounding to me the number of people that are going through this and never see it from a scientific perspective. They're just kind of following the rules. And then some aren't even doing that. I live in Michigan, where people are actually going out and getting in large groups to protest the fact that our governor has issued a state of emergency and that we should all be at home. You know, large groups, so they can get the coronavirus. Interpret that however you like. Kind of like getting a copyright strike for posting gameplay of a brand new game of a character on a motorcycle, and that not being okay. But what I really want to talk about this week is Final Fantasy VII Remake. How true to the original, yet set up for some radically different, or at least maybe altered, outcomes. If that was their aim, and I know it was from reading some of the articles, they were talking about the fact that they can't just remake the old game, because it would be boring. There'd be nothing new. Now, they've gone so far as to say, hey, fate can be altered. Now, with that being said, this is the very last video that involves content related to Final Fantasy VII Remake that I will make that is spoiler-free. I will leave it right there. So that being said, let me give you my own spoiler-free review, I guess you could say. Hi folks, I'm Joe from joeThinks. And the painstaking care and love they clearly put into this game to visually depict the story that so many of us already know and love, and another generation has come along now that will love it too because the story is about 23 years old, left me in awe. Now, the combat system is a really good blend of the combat system from Final Fantasy XV with Noctis and the guys in the car, and Final Fantasy VII Core Crisis Materia system that was an upgrade from the Final Fantasy VII Materia system. In my opinion, Squeenix, you need to work on the Materia system in Final Fantasy VII Remake. This is acceptable, but only for the first game. Give us loadouts. Come on, I need to be able to save what types of materia I need for certain types of fights. If you're going to have us do it this way, make it more convenient for us. Now, as for the story, oh my gosh, there isn't a boring chapter or a moment that I don't think is essential or engaging on purpose. There are a little apparent translation glitches. Now, I'm not talking you spoony bard level of fail or anything, but there are different inflections of the word sorry in Japanese that don't translate well to English, and those are the types of things I'm talking about. Most folks aren't going to get those because they're not aware of them. It'll just seem like for whatever reason that moment is a little awkward, so I kind of understand. Even the extremely gratifying and heart-wrenching ending, which again, I'm not spoiling anything. However, if you look out on the internet at all, it's left many more with questions. Way more questions than before than answers. Because the original team for the story for the game 25 years ago are the folks that are working on this game right now. What a masterstroke to have done for delivering content, because it draws in people that already know the story and draws in people that don't and gives them something to research. I'm going to play through Core Crisis. I honestly never played the game. Now I certainly want to fill in the holes in my knowledge. I did play Dirge of Cerberus. I don't really remember a lot about it, and I certainly should probably play that again too. Or maybe spend some time just looking up the story, you know what I'm saying? Maybe watch a YouTube video. Now, it is some seriously risky business messing with nostalgia today. I mean, look at how many reboots of different things there are out there. There's very many different iterations of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Power Rangers, and Transformers, and a new movie every year, it seems like, where Disney is attempting to snatch at nostalgia. For wins and losses, and they can afford the losses of it. However, in Square Enix's case, this is pretty much a shoo-in. People have been asking for this game forever. They got the original team that worked on the original game, and more or less all of them have agreed, hey, we're going to end our careers with this, and it's going to be a giant project. Most of them are older guys, older than myself, and they've already created this masterpiece to begin with, and still work in the field. So giving it a second go at already accomplishing something great, almost guaranteed greatness. Those are big, giant shoes to fill, but I believe they accomplished it. Now, it's also important to note that more material for the story had been released after Final Fantasy VII, such as Final Fantasy VII Core Crisis and Final Fantasy VII Dirge of Cerberus, where you play as Vincent. That's way back from the PlayStation 2 era, though, and Core Crisis is on the PSP. They introduced new characters, including the short stories and books that were released in Japan. Thanks to Livestream.net, we actually have the entirety of the On Way to a Smile short stories set, which details what happens after the game but before Advent Children the movie happens. And I'll leave a link in the description for that if you're interested. I really recommend it if you're into the story for Final Fantasy VII. And this is just the beginning. This is just Midgar. In the original game, this was the first 6, maybe 8 hours if you drug it out. And granted, they added new material to flesh it out more. But I am excited in ways I can't even express. Are you excited for Final Fantasy VII as well? Leave a comment. I'd love to hear about it. Now, one last thing. There's going to be a change in direction for what I'm doing with the joeThinks media stuff. Posting videos has been fun, but I'm not getting enough time to really learn what I want to learn for editing. I also would like to start a YouTube gaming channel as well, and I've gotten a lot of positive feedback on doing so. But I want to keep this channel purely related to art-based content. I'm going to continue to work on webcomics, and this is going to continue to be based around my webcomics, but I will be opening a gaming channel that will obviously have Final Fantasy VII Remake content on it as some of my first content. But I have been moving towards putting my gaming material online for a long time, and doing this with my art has led me to the level I believe I could actually make engaging material that is gameplay. Maybe I can't, this could totally be a failure. But I won't know unless I give it a go. So going forward, I will only be doing probably 2 art project-based videos per month, because I really do want to improve the quality of my content, and this is how I'm going to accomplish it, is to, instead of just be putting things out as quickly as I can, I'm going to start focusing a little bit more on the quality of what I'm doing. So if you like this art content, definitely subscribe if you haven't yet. And if you hit that notification bell, it will tell you when I release new videos. Don't forget to hit that like button if you think that this is good content and you want to see more of this. But remember, folks, especially now, be kind to one another. And still use your turn signals.